Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome to another Sales Copywriting and Content Marketing Hacks podcast. I'm your host, along with my trusty co-host and podcast producer, Mr. Stu Smith. Welcome, Stu.
Hey, Jim.
Stu, what are we talking about today? I would think that because it's the beginning of the year, new you, new product, new you. What if we talked about, I don't know, how to launch a product? Could we do that today? I think we had a question.
We did have a question, Jim, from the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks Facebook group, which if you're not a member, you should be. Check it out. So the question is from Susan.
Susan Emini. Yep. Susan Emini, yeah.
Yeah, Susan says, would you be able to do a training on pre-ordering offers? I know nothing about how to launch, set up, or price future products. Thanks.
Right now? Right this minute, Stu? Like it's part of the Jim and Stu show?
Yeah, let's do it. It's
holy crap! I can do it. I can do it. Give me the whole question. I can do it without even the whole question.
That's awesome. Hang on, but it'll give some context. It might drive you in a other direction. So, would you be able to do a training on pre-ordering offers? I know nothing about how to launch, set up, or price future products. Thanks. So. New year, new product. I'd figure we'd answer that question.
Okay. This sounds like a job for the magic whiteboard.
It is.
All right. So, does she have a list or does not have a list?
It didn't say.
I'm going to assume she doesn't. Or maybe she does.
Maybe she does. Yeah,
okay.
It's a new. She has it like a new product, so I'm assuming she has previous products. Maybe not.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple of things there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can do this. I've launched tons and tons of products. Read me the thing again. Read me the question again, please.
All right. Would you be able to do a training on pre-ordering offers?
Okay.
Let's start there.
Okay, so let's define a pre-order offer. Means it's probably either it's not done yet, it's not done. Okay, right. It's either something. If it's a course, if it's software, if it's something like that, it's like it ain't done yet. By the way, don't ever sell software this way. You either sell the software, it's done and it works and you're selling it, but don't ever sell because that's just a sure way to drive yourself insane and have a whole bunch of. So you can do this with a product. You can do this with a physical product. You can even do this with a book, but don't do it with software. All right.
Lesson learned there?
Not me. I let someone else's pain teach that lesson. And never would do that. But pre-ordering, it's not done yet. This is good for books, basically a book that you have written, but maybe it's at the publisher and you're trying to figure out how many copies you want to sell. A course that you want to create, probably live. So, or some sort of physical product. A widget that's at the manufacturer right now, and it's hang on a second. Oh, the asker was Susan Emini. Just Susan was telling me. Okay, so Susan, longtime caller, frequent, longtime listener, frequent caller. That's Susan. Okay, so the key here to do a pre-order type offer is that the purpose of any launch is to create energy and excitement and enthusiasm about the thing. And the way you do that to create energy and excitement and enthusiasm is to create. Look at this, man. I'm doing alliteration. I ain't even doing that. I'm not even doing that on purpose. Is through creating an experience. So what most people do when they launch something, whether it's new or whether it's a pre-order or it's an existing thing, it's like, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Oh, I got this book. You should buy it. I got this, I got this cup that I made on Etsy. You should buy it. It's like, buy my stuff. Well, crap. I could buy your stuff any day. It's like, I could buy it today. I could buy it tomorrow. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss. I could buy your stuff. I could buy your fluff. I could buy today. I could buy yesterday. I can buy on any day. And the thing is, then it's just kind of like everything else. So you got to create an experience with energy and excitement and enthusiasm. So how do you do that? Well, you turn it into an event. Holy crap, man. Energy, excitement, enthusiasm, experience, event.
The 5 E's.
The 5 E's of launching a new product. Holy crap, dude. It's like the 5 E's of, and I'm Jim Edwards. Oh my gosh. The 5 E's of how to launch a new product. So, how do you do that? Well, kind of plan it out. And when you say plan it out, these are some of the tried and true ways to do it. And the first thing you got to do is pick a launch date. Okay, this is the date. This is the date that the book is going to ship. This is the date that we're going to have the first class. This is the date that it's going to be whatever is going to be available. So everything is building towards that date. So if you're doing a class, the easiest thing to do is pick a date. Hey, this is going to be the first day of the class. This is going to be the first, this is going to be it. This is when we're going to be doing it. And then everything kind of builds backwards. So when you're creating the experience, there's a couple of milestones that you want people to kind of get across. So the first thing you can do is create something about your opportunity. And so that's a fancy way or a generalized, it's kind of like hook, story, offer. Hook can be a question, it can be a headline, it can be a statement, it can be, so this is your opportunity, which is basically what's the big idea. So like when I launched, it's been close to 20 years ago, we launched a product called the Ultimate Traffic Machine, which was a giant course about how to use articles to drive traffic to your website. And that was like the primary way of being able to do it. It was the content marketing at its finest. So the big idea, the big opportunity was how to establish expertise, how to drive traffic, and how to be seen as someone who is an authority in your niche by regularly publishing articles and then finding people to publish your article for you on their websites and in their newsletters. So that was the big idea and opportunity. So in this case, frankly, it was an email that I sent that just explained all that, just to start the whole thing moving on down the trail. It was an email article. So then if I was going to do that today, what I would do would be to set up a page, or you could use social media and or use YouTube. I would do a video that explained the whole thing. So that would be the first thing. And I would let them know, hey, by the way, something cool is coming. All right. Now, you can also, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. This is just one way of doing it. But if I was doing this, what she's saying, this is how I would do it. Next thing you can do is, so this is the opportunity. This is your big opportunity. So the next thing you can do is talk about your results. So again, talking about how whatever this has done has changed your life. So we'll just keep using that example of the ultimate traffic machine. All right. So this is 20 years ago. I'm going to use an example. When we lay out this framework, then we'll come back and we'll use an example if like Stu was going to launch a new training program. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to share is, okay, here's what I've done. You know, here's all the different listings about me in Google. Here are the newsletters that have published my articles. Here are the things that people are saying about me. And here's the actual traffic from my traffic logs that I have gotten from doing this strategy. So this isn't just something that I pulled out of thin air. Okay. Oh, and by the way, you can also throw in some credibility stuff. At that point, I was talking about how I was a syndicated newspaper reporter or newspaper columnist. So not only did I have street cred, like legit authority, but I also had street cred based on the results that I had gotten. So it's, you know, the opportunity and then results. Now, the next thing you're going to talk about in your launch sequence is other people's results. And preferably people who have used your method, used your system, used your book, done your coaching, used your software, used whatever. You don't have to, but this is where you're proving that the opportunity is legit. So, because one of the things that people think is, okay, yeah, that makes sense, that would work. Then it's like, okay, so will it work for you? Oh, yeah, okay. It obviously it worked for him. He got major results. Then the next question they want to know is, will it work for who? Will it work for, say it, Stu.
Whatever business you're in.
Me. Will it work for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this is basically the what and the why. So this is what I'm doing, and this is the kind of payoff. So this, and then this is, does it work for you? And then will it work for me? So this is where you have a perfect opportunity for case studies, sharing the stories of people who have used what you're teaching and gotten results. And usually in the form of some sort of a dramatic story or before and after stuff. So it's like, the ultimate in that case would be, hey, you know, I used Jim Edwards' method and it was amazing. Here's my traffic before I used his thing, and here's my traffic after. I mean, if you could get somebody else's traffic logs and show, hey, this is where they were, and then they started doing what I showed them how to do, and their traffic started going like this. You get a couple of those, it's all over but the crying, because people are like, bam. So then the last thing you're going to do is you got to build momentum. You've got to build pressure for this to happen on a certain date if you're doing a true launch. Otherwise, you're just doing a product release, which means you've released the product and the product is always available, which is a whole different thing of how do you keep enthusiasm and other stuff like that. A launch is about building pressure, okay? So on that actual launch day, and this doesn't, you can seed people for as long as you want. I mean, you can drop hints and drop stuff ahead of time. Like when we launched my book, people knew my book was coming for a year. I mean, I made my book, the launch, I made getting my book part of a launch we did with Russell's book, where still people were, you know, people knew it was out there, but they couldn't get it. I mean, you can build a lot of enthusiasm, you can build a lot of awareness, but awareness is different than the actual launch. And if you build awareness and there's availability, that doesn't work as a launch. So if I just said, hey, my book's available, and, I'm telling you all about my book, and you can go buy it if you want. And then I tried to do a launch. That wouldn't work. So a launch is literally, again, back to this date. There's a date. There's a point in time where that pressure is going to build to get people to actually buy whatever it is. Okay? So you could do this. I mean, the thing is, you can do this with videos. You can do this with emails. You can do this with social media, whatever. But, the what and the why, your results, and then other people getting results. It's really about proof. So if you don't have case studies, go get some. Drag people kicking and screaming across the finish line to get results. If you can't get results, you're just like, I haven't taught the dang class yet, Jim. I can't do results. Then get case studies of what you've observed about what other people are doing. Find statistics that support whatever it is that you're telling people to do. Find some sort of proof that supports the fact that what you're talking about, this works for me, and here's the proof that this is legit, and you need to do what you're doing. Okay, so now the last part is the actual launch, which is, hey, it's available. All right. And so then that's when you're taking people through, and I'll just summarize it because, again, this is like a whole day seminar. But when you do the actual launch itself, and really that's not the right word because the whole thing is the launch. We'll call this cart open. All right. This is a 3-phase process. The easiest way to think about cart open, or that, it's available, is phase 1 is, here it is. All right. Or really, here it comes, here it is, there it goes. So it's like, okay, here it comes, cart's available, things available, here it is. And then there it goes. All right, in my experience, you will get about 30% of your orders here, you'll get 10% of your orders here, and you'll get 60% of your orders here. And you will get 50% of your 60% in the last 10% of time. So we'll do the is Susan talking to me? Okay. She said, I'm just looking at, Susan actually got some response that Susan is actually launching software and training. So I would tell you, Susan, make sure the software is done, vetted, beta tested, and fully ready to go. And then I would teach the training live. That's the launch part, is the software is available with the training. So let's say you're doing this over 5 days. I wouldn't do it any longer than that, okay? Which means you have about a 9 to 10 day launch total, because you got the build up and you got the thing. So day 1 is, okay, here it is. This is what you've been waiting for. Go, 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 go. And so all your high reactions will be like, holy crap, it's been building. I can't wait. I got to get it. And so about 30% of them are going to buy here. Then, so this is day 1. This is day 2 and 3. You're just creating and keeping that awareness up of sharing people, hey, it's available, but it's not going to be available for long because we're building towards whatever this date is. So, this is where you're doing stuff like FAQs, and you're answering, you're trying to address objections. So this is where, you do an FAQ. Hey, here's the big questions that people are coming in and asking and stuff. And then the objections email is basically, you might be thinking this, the old feel felt found, you might feel like this isn't for you. And when I first got started in my results, referencing back, I felt the same way. Go watch the video. So you're also incorporating the stuff that you use during your launch into these emails as well, because you don't want to assume that everybody saw everything you put out during the pre-launch stuff, because they didn't. So again, this can be done in email. This can be done on social media. This really isn't necessarily something I would try and do with paid traffic. But if you had a partner, somebody that had a list, an affiliate, a JV partner, send the email to their list, the messages going out on their social media. So FAQs and objections. And then here it goes. Day 4, it's like, hey, here's your 24-hour notice. And then the last day is like, you're going to get 3, you're going to really hammer them with the emails. Like, today's the last day. Just wanted to let you know. Then, here's, here time's running out. And then like a couple, 3 hours before it's over, it's like last chance. That last chance email is going to generate 40 to 50% of your sales, because people want what they can't have. Thing you want to build into your launch is exclusivity, limited. Hey, that's like our 7th E. Limited availability. And so that's, in a nutshell, a summary in a lot of ways of 300-page books that people have written on launching products.
Yeah, that's.
But this is from my experience and stuff. Now we could get into the, dig your well before you're thirsty kind of thing. The best way to launch is if you have your own list. So start building your list. Other things that you can build into this whole process is start asking people, hey, what's your biggest question about this? I'm putting together a product. I'm putting together a, I call it the most burning question campaign. What's your most burning question about this, this, or this? So, and then to make sure we don't leave anything out. The other thing you can do is before you launch, is say, hey, we're getting ready to send the book to the printer. We're getting ready to put the finishing touches on the outline for the class. We're getting ready to, it's hard with a physical product, but, tell me what's your most burning question about this. And then I'll keep you in the loop on how how everything's going. So they become part of the experience. A lot of times what we have people do with their book, if you want to start doing it, is throw up different versions of your book cover so that people can get a vote. Hey, which of these book covers do you like best? I'm not asking you to buy the book. Crap, it's not even done yet. Which of these report covers do you like best? Which of these software boxes do you like best? And that's, you're not asking to, I can't even sell this to you right now, but I want to know what you think of it. So let's go through this process real quick. Let's say that Stu was going to launch a new video coaching program on getting ready for Ranger School. Okay, or trying to get a spec ops contract. So that would cover pretty much everything. You're trying to get a spec ops contract. So it's you can even start the whole thing since you've got a list, but also where these people are. What's your single most burning question about getting a spec ops contract? And then you could even start adding personality into it, and it better not be what are the minimum PT standards. Okay, that would be like the thing to kind of get the whole thing going. I'm putting together a new program on how to get a spec ops contract in a post Middle East world or in a post Afghanistan world or something. Some kind of an angle, what that's all about. And then people start responding. That gives you fodder. And then you come out and say, what's the big idea here? Then you talk about your experience in special forces. in, being a Navy SEAL, what that was like, what the journey was like, the through, the to, through, and after, or whole type thing. I mean, get people, that also would set you as the attractive character, but this is going to be more, I would say, if I was going to tell you, it would be more about the journey to that point of getting the contract. Then it would be the result of, or maybe getting ready to get ready. Then this would be all about the results of being in the SEAL team, sharing stories about the guys that you met, the stuff that you did, the cool places you went. Leave out the part about being in the little boat in the middle of the med, freaking out because the sub hadn't shown up yet, kind of thing. That's not a good story to share.
Wasn't a freak out, but yeah, it was a concern.
Oh, okay, here we go. That it wasn't a freak out, Jim. Sorry, Stu. So you know what I'm saying? You're selling them on the cool thing. You're selling the destination, not the journey.
Sure.
Because what you are selling them ultimately is how to get to and through training. Okay, so now case studies. Guys just like you. Phone interviews with guys who've been through your Heroes of Tomorrow, like when they come back and they're training over Christmas or something like that. Hey, tell them what life was like before you went and the training and stuff. Now talk about what it's like now that you are actually in SQT, or you've been through RASP, or you've done all that stuff. And it's like, and then have them say, I never could have done this without Stu. I mean, I just never could have done it. And so now it's like, okay, here's the offer. This is the first day. This, you can even look at this as the first. Oh man, I hate it when I brush up against stuff. Like erasing my crap. This is the first day on your journey to earning that trident, or earning that green beret, or getting that tab. And the first day on your journey is the date of your launch. And I mean, I know it's over the top and it's not the kind of thing that you would do, but you see what I'm getting at. You wouldn't necessarily do it that way.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, class starts on this date. Y'all need to get signing up. It's ready. If you're committed, if you're serious, go sign up now. Must be 18 years or older to ask your parents for using credit card. And then here it is. Here are the questions. What is this? What isn't this? You might be thinking, so you get a couple of, okay, class is starting tomorrow. This is your 24-hour warning order. That, I mean, you can use all that kind of stuff. And then finally it's, here we go. It starts tomorrow. If you're not on the bus, then you're a pogue and you'll be, in the Navy, slow, gray, and underway. Whatever, all that stuff you always just let slip. So that's how you launch it. That's the psychology. Now, the actual mechanics depends on you, your audience, where they are, how you're doing it, what resources you have, what resources you don't have. But that is literally, those are the mechanics. So honest to God, I could have spun that whole thing into $1,000 class. I mean, I literally could spread this out over, a week and spend that. Do any of you feel like you just got a real good education this morning in about 30 minutes? Was that worth showing up for? Deanna, Frederick, Anna, Carl, Stephen, Tomer, Bob, those of you that are here, C. Ray, was that useful?
Man, it was huge.
All great info. Well, it's info unless you put it into action, and then it will really help you. So hopefully Susan will see this, and this is helpful for her as well.
Nice.
So awesome.
You know that the cool thing about that, I kind of end it before we go. If you want to do the podcast, we can call this the podcast because that was a wealth of knowledge. It allows you, when you have something 10 days in advance, it allows the people you are communicating with, whether it's passive through social media or it's a little more direct with emails, it allows you to talk about this for 10 days straight.
Sure.
You know, people kind of expect it. It's kind of like the other day when I had my 10 days to Halloween contest.
Right.
I mean, that was a 10-day advertisement for the PT club.
Sure.
That's all it was, because the winner of this 10-day thing gets a free PT club membership.
Right.
Right.
For a quarter.
Yeah. For 12 weeks.
Sorry.
12 weeks. Know, but still.
Yeah, that's a hell of a value.
10-day ad. Right. So
sure. But it's not really a 10-day ad. You have transformed it from 10 days of saying, buy my stuff, and buy my stuff, into 10 days of energy, excitement, enthusiasm that creates an experience because it's an event. That 5 E's thing, by the way, that was like that's like subconscious mind just like totally tuned in.
Man, that's huge.
But it's not buy my stuff. In fact, you can't even buy it. That's the thing. And you get the people that start whining. It's like, I don't even know what you're crying about because I haven't even tried to sell you anything yet. You can't even buy it. So I don't know why you're saying that this is all just crap. The key to this whole thing is creating great value. Because in people's minds, then it becomes like, holy crap. If there's this much value in the free stuff, imagine what I'll get in the paid stuff. You know?
Yep.
And that's, Stephen said you could give a massive discount with an inner circle to get the testimonies. No, what you do is you create an inner circle or have a membership where you make getting this part of the thing they're already paying for, and then help them to get results and drag them kicking and screaming over the finish line to actually get results. And then once you have practically hand carried them over the finish line, you stick their face in front of a camera while they're still feeling good about it and get the testimonial right then. That's a little key as well, you know, and you make the condition of helping them and giving them, doing everything except come to their house and doing meal prep and waking them up out of bed, that they have to give you a testimonial. You create that. So,
man, that was really good, Jim.
Well, thank you, Stu. Does anybody? We got about 5 minutes because then Stu and I have another meeting at the top of the hour, and I need a bathroom break. I know that's TMI, but I don't care. So, does anybody have any questions about what we just covered? Does anybody have any? Ask whatever. This is your chance. Without having to pay me $25,000 to be a part of my inner circle. So here's your shot. This is your chance. And it's interesting how many people are saying doing the launch now, and this was great. I'm getting ready to do this. So that's a good thing. All right. So while we're waiting, Stu, can you think of any other questions based on what we talked about? I mean, that was pretty thorough, actually.
Oh man, I don't want to mess up what you just did. I mean, I just like that was perfect. Anything I say is not going to help it.
Okay. Well, we have a couple of things. All the stuff in day 2 and 3. Like something like a webinar, or would you prefer to have a Facebook question and answer situation? It just depends on what tools you're using. It depends on where you are and how you're doing it. I could see doing a Q&A session towards the end with a with doing it live on Facebook, or if you've got a pre-launch list that you have launched it to, like everybody's joining a list to then get the launch stuff. So that's another way to do it is to hey, I'm going to be launching something. I'm going to, if you're interested in being on the early bird list, join here. And then that's a way that you just hammer the people that are on the early bird list, people who raise their hand, people that answered the question of what's your most burning question about stuff. Those are the ones you focus on instead of nailing your list with everything. Another way would be just on social media so that you can answer all the questions and stuff. But having in that last day, the ability for people to ask and answer specific questions is a great way of doing that. Another way you can do it is just with a specific email address too. So that's the other way to do it, is to just say, hey, if you've got questions, send them here, and I'm personally going to answer them. That way you just know that that's what you're getting. Other things that you can do, which we'll get into another time, is using disappearing bonuses and other things that so you don't necessarily say, hey, I'm never going to sell the product again.
Don't want to do that.
But unless you buy right now, you cannot be a part of all of the live training. You won't be able to get your specific questions asked. You won't be able to interact with me personally. You won't be able to have a hand in how or what actually goes into the product. You just, have to take it at the end. So, and I'm going to raise the price, and this other bonus is going to disappear. So you pluck things off the table without saying, you're never going to be able to get this again. Would a 10-day YouTube email campaign work? 10 days is probably too long, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to describe to me what let me rephrase that. You'd have to describe to me what a 10-day YouTube email campaign is. But hope y'all enjoyed the show, and we're happy that you joined us, and we're looking forward to a wonderful year. And so we will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.